My name is Angela, and, like a lot of people, I thought I had life all figured out until everything started falling apart. The day I made those choices, I remember waking up already feeling weighed down, like there was this constant pressure squeezing my chest. Bills piling up, people depending on me everywhere I looked. It was like there was no way out. I thought to myself, maybe just this once, maybe I can make things easier. People see headlines and think it's simple. You made a mistake and now you're paying for it. But it's never that simple. Inside, I was battling all this fear, frustration, and the constant need to keep my head above water. I tried so hard to make things work the right way, but nothing seemed to be enough. It was like I'd hit a wall over and over. On that day, I went out telling myself this was the answer to my problems. I wasn't proud of it, but I was desperate. I remember this rush of panic and adrenaline, convincing myself that I could do this, that it was just a means to an end. In those moments, I felt every emotion you can imagine: fear, shame, relief, and anger at the world for pushing me to that point. But life has a way of catching up with you. I didn't even make it home before I saw those flashing lights behind me. And then it hit me, I'd lost control. As they took me in, I felt numb, like it wasn't really happening. Sitting in that interrogation room, I realized how far I'd drifted from who I thought I was. I'd crossed the line, and now there was no going back. The trial was like being under a microscope. Every detail of my life was brought out and dissected. They painted this picture of me that didn't match who I thought I was. Hearing the things people said, I started to question myself. Maybe I had become someone I didn't recognize. When they handed down the sentence, it felt like my world had stopped. But in a way, it was also a relief. I knew I'd finally reached the bottom, and maybe from there, I could start figuring out who I was again. There are days when the guilt and regret feel overwhelming, but I try to hold on to the hope that my story could be a warning for someone else. If you're listening to this, I want you to understand no situation is worth losing yourself over. I was trying to solve temporary problems with permanent choices. I thought I could handle it, that I was just doing what I had to. But the price I paid was so much bigger than I could have imagined. Now, every day, I remind myself to stay grounded, to remember the person I want to be. Mistakes don't define us, but we have to live with them. If there's one thing I can say to anyone in a tough spot, it's this: there is always a choice. The easy way out will cost you more than you think.